Hello students. So in today's class we are going to discuss about a new concept, dictionaries. And in the previous class we have discussed a lot regarding the list concept, and the chapter which we are discussing is working with list and dictionaries, right? So list concept is almost over, and now we are going to discuss about the concept dictionary. So dictionary, it is also one of the data type in Python, and this dictionary data type falls under the concept mapping. So totally we have discussed about 5 different data types, right? Numbers, sequences, sets, none, and mapping. So numbers, you know very well what are the concepts comes under numbers data type. Sequences, in sequences you have strings, list, and tuples, right? And when you consider none data type, so when you're not ready to provide any condition over there, at that point of time you can make use of the none data type. And when it comes to sets and mapping, so sets and mapping, they both correlate with the dictionary concept. So I'll tell you why it falls under the mapping concept, and why do we relate the sets and mapping together for dictionary. So dictionary, if you consider, it is an unordered sequence, whereas a sequence, if you consider, it is an ordered sequence. So why do we call it as an unordered sequence and an ordered sequence? So in sequence data type, you have 3 different types. Like some of the sequences in Python, if you consider, see here, strings, list, and tuple. And when you consider these 3 things, most of the time they share the common features. So what are the common features does it share? Like you can say, it consists of the finite number of elements, and all the items will be separated by commas. When you consider the string, you will enclose everything within quotes, whereas in list you will enclose everything within square bracket, whereas in tuples you will enclose everything within parenthesis. So almost all the sequence, each and every sequence contains a finite number of elements, and you will enclose it with a different symbol, that's it. And it is arranged in some order in the sequence, right? So you will usually arrange in some order, and you will usually make use of the index positions to access the element, or to retrieve it, or to traverse the elements. You will make use of the positive index and the negative index. So you will go in some order to access the elements, right? So that's why the elements are arranged in some order, and that's why we call it as um, the ordered sequence. Even if it is going to be a string concept also, when it comes to the concept of string slicing, you will access all the elements with the help of the positive index or with the help of the negative index. So now you understood why do we call the sequences like strings, list, and tuples and as a ordered sequence. And even one more thing which is possible, and which is very common in sequences, if you consider, it is possible to iterate over the elements. Either you can make use of the for loop, or you can make use of the while loop even to iterate over the elements. And it is also possible to check whether the elements in the sequence are present or not. Right. So these are some of the common features where you will have in the sequences in Python, like strings, list, and tuples. But when it comes to dictionary, it is completely different. It consists of the unordered sequence. So unordered sequence in the sense, dictionary items, if you consider, it always holds values in the form of, it always holds items in the form of key and value pairs. So key followed by value. You can compare the concept dictionary in Python to a telephone directory, or to the normal dictionaries which we use in our home to refer to the meanings which we don't know, actually do not know in English, right? The English dictionaries which we use. So, if you are going to refer to a meaning in the dictionary, what you will do actually, you will make use of the keywords, the first 3 letters or the first 2 letters, you will use it, right? So, the first 3 letters will be considered as the key. So, using the keyword, what will you do? You will search for the meaning. So, using the key, you will find it very easy to move over the pages, and you can easily find the meaning of it, the relevant meaning, right? So, the meaning becomes the value which you get. So, that is how in Python also the dictionary will work actually. And one more example you can consider for dictionary is, which is the telephone directory. So telephone directory, for what purpose we will use in, because we cannot keep all the numbers in our mind, all the person's number in our mind. Nowadays we are storing everything in the mobile phone, but a few years back we had only the landline phones, right? So when we make use of the landline phones, either we have to write and keep all the telephone numbers in our diary, or they will make use of the telephone directory in case if the number has been lost in our diary. So the telephone directory consists of all the subscribers' name and address, right? According to the name, so everything gets stored in an ordered manner. So see here, the name, subscriber number gets stored according to his name and address. So by using the name and address, what we will do, we will be searching for the subscriber's number. So that is how we will usually search for a number, person's number in the telephone directory, right? So almost this concept is much similar to the dictionary which we are going to study in Python. You got it? So let us see how this dictionary works actually. And I have told you, by using the person's name, we will be searching for the person's phone number. So that name will become a key for you here, and the value which becomes the telephone number which you get with the help of the name will become the value. So that's why we call it as a key value pair in dictionary in Python. You got it? So we make use of this key value pair in dictionary in Python. And let us see how this work actually. So Python dictionary is an unordered collection of items where each item is a key value pair. And as I have told you, the data type dictionary, it falls under the mapping concept, right? So mapping means what will happen. So usually mapping, what is the general meaning of mapping? From where to where you're connecting, and how are you getting the values? So that usually we will refer to as mapping, right? And it is a mapping between a set of keys and a set of values. So based on the key only you will refer to a value. So you will provide a set of keys followed by the set of values. That's why we call this as mapping between the set of keys and the values, and that's why the sets and mapping both falls under the dictionary concept. You understood now? And the key value pair, if you consider both key and value together, you will call it as an item. For example, in list, if I'm going to give 2 4 6 8 10, so 2 4 6 8 10 is a list of values which I have created in the list. Means 2 is one item, 4 is another item, 6 is another item, right? Similarly, even in dictionary, the key and value together, you will call it as an item. I'll show you an example. See here, key followed by value together, you will call it as an item. So this is one item, first item. Key 2, value 2, this is second item. Key 3, value 3, this is third item. So it keeps going like this. You got it? And this is how you will be creating a dictionary in Python. So key followed by value, and this key and value will be separated by colon, and this key and value together will be separated by comma, right? Each and every item in the dictionary will be separated by commas, much similar to the list and tuples, how you create. So each and every item which you create inside the list and tuples, you will separate it with commas, right? So much similar to that, you will separate each and every item with commas, but key and values should be separated by a colon, and all the items together you have to enclose within curly braces. Here you will be using the curly braces to enclose all the items together. So this is how you will be creating a dictionary. You got it? And see here, the same they have given here. A key is separated from its value by colon, and consecutive items are separated by commas. And why do we call this as an unordered sequence? Why the items in dictionaries, if you consider, it is of unordered type. Actually, the way you give the data inside the dictionary will not be the same how you get it back. When you're trying to access the values, when you're trying to access the data from the dictionary, it will not be in the same order how you have given initially. That's why we call this as an unordered sequence. And some of the features which you have to keep in mind when you're working with dictionaries are, each key will map to the respective value. That is, if this value is associated with this key, by using this key I can access only this value. By using key 1, I cannot access the key 2 value. You got it? So each key associates to the respective value, and the association of a key and value is called a key value pair. Yes, so usually we will call this as a key value pair. And now if you consider, each key is separated from its value by a colon, this one I have told you, and the items are separated by commas, and the entire dictionary is enclosed in curly braces. So the items are separated by commas, and the entire dictionary you will enclose within curly braces. And keys are unique within a dictionary while values may not be. The meaning of this is, the value of a dictionary can be of any data type. You can give any data type, you can provide values of any data type over here, but the keys should always be of an immutable data type like strings or tuples or numbers, because a string is an immutable data type where you cannot change once you have created. Similarly, tuples and the numbers. So all these three data types you cannot change once you have created. So this kind of immutable type you have to give here in the key. Got it? But values can be of any type, because using the key only we will be able to access the value. If key is going to change continuously, you will not be able to access the value, right? So that is the reason always keys should be unique and it should be of an immutable data type. You got it? So this is how you have to create a key value pair in dictionary. So that's why dictionary is mutable. But they see here the value of a dictionary can be of any type, but the keys must be of an immutable data type, such as strings, numbers, or tuples. As I have told you, only the keys cannot be changed, but the values can be changed. As a whole, the dictionary is mutable. I have told you that key is immutable, but as a whole, dictionary is mutable in the sense you can add new items or change the value of an existing items. The values are mutable. You can change the value or you can add a new value at the end. So all these things you can change except the key. Yes, so this is how you can work with the dictionary. And to create a dictionary, the things which you have to do is the same thing they have repeated here. So each key item is a key value pair and it should be separated by colon, and each and every item should be separated by commas. So key and value together you will call it as an item. So key value pair. Yes, and the entire items you will enclose within the curly braces, and you can assign it to a variable even. And now let us see some examples related to dictionary. So if you see here, d equal to curly braces, they have given empty curly braces they have given, which means that they have created an empty dictionary. So if you assign this empty curly braces to a variable, here you're creating an empty dictionary. And here one more variable they have given, dictionary 1 equal to r, they have given which is the key, which is of, see, R, S, W and A. All these are keys. See, they have described with the mapping concept, and R is of string data type. R, S, W and A, all of string type, which is immutable. And here if a value can be of any type, I have told you. So rainy, summer, winter and autumn they have given. So it can be of any type. And here they have created a key value pair. Here they have created an empty dictionary. Here they have created a dictionary with values. And see here one more example. Dictionary. So variable is user defined. So you can give any variable. This is just for your understanding. They have given dict1 equal to empty curly braces. If you are going to give, what will happen? This empty dictionary will be created, and it's been assigned to dictionary 1 variable. So if you try to print here, the empty dictionary will be printed. And now if you see here, they have created a dictionary with values. So Mohan is of string type, which is the key. 95 is of number type, which is of integer type. The value can be of any type that I have told you, right? So it can be a combination of string and what is that, integer. So it can be of any data type, right? That's why we call this as an unordered sequence. So they have created a dictionary over here, and if you try to access the dictionary as a whole, you have to just call this variable dict3. If you give, this entire dictionary will be printed. That's it. If you try to access each and every value separately, I'll tell you how to do that. So one more thing, the methods to create dictionary. There are three different methods in which you can create a dictionary. One is, as we have discussed in the previous example, you can assign two curly braces to a variable. This helps you to create an empty dictionary. And the other one is, you can assign values inside the curly braces, which is whereas you are enclosing everything in the curly braces. So this is also much similar to the example which we have discussed, right? And the third one is, you can create a dictionary by using the dict method, that is the dict function. So the function dict parenthesis is used to create a new dictionary with no items at all. So see here, they are assigning the function dictionary to a variable d, and if you try to print that variable, see what happens here, an empty dictionary will be created. So these are some of the methods how you can create a dictionary in Python. And now we have discussed how to create a dictionary and how to create an empty dictionary, or how to create a dictionary with values that we have discussed. In case if you have created an empty dictionary, how will you assign values to the dictionary? To assign values to the empty dictionary, what we have to do is, we have to make use of the square brackets. Got it? So the square brackets, you can use it to initialize a value within the empty dictionary, or you can use the square brackets to access the values from the dictionary which you have created even. So see here, they are creating an empty dictionary d equal to curly braces they have given, and followed by that in the next line what they have done, d of 1 equal to, so this 1 represents the key which you are creating here, and this 1 represents which you are assigning the value which you are assigning to the key 1. You understood? So this one string 1 is the value which you are assigning it to which key number 1. So, and d of 2 that represents the the word 2, you're assigning it to the key 2, right? Similarly for 3, 4, and if you try to print of d, this variable, see what is happening. All 1, 2, 3 and 4, the numbers will be generated as key, and the words which you have assigned will be generated as values. Understood? So this is how this key and this dictionary can be, I mean the values can be initialized to an empty dictionary. Yes. And now let us see how to access elements in a dictionary. So accessing elements in a dictionary also can be done with the help of the square brackets. So in the previous example, we have seen how to initialize the values in the dictionary. Right now we are going to see how to access the elements in a dictionary. So to even access the elements in the dictionary, you will be using the same square brackets along with the key to obtain its value. So without a key, you cannot access the value, right? You have to make use of the key to access the value. Remember the telephone directory example, the name will be considered as the key. By using the person's name, you will retrieve the person's phone number. Yes, so much similar to that. By using the key, you will be obtaining the value from the dictionary. So let us see this example here. Dict equal to name Ria. This is one item. Age 7, second item. Class second. This is third item. So totally three values I have here. Three items I have here inside the dictionary. And now if I would like to access the name of the student, I have to use the variable dict followed by name within square brackets. Name is the key. I should give the key as such. However, the key has been given. If it is a string, give it same like the string type. If it is of number, give it same like the number. You got it? And this is just a print statement. It is just a string which has been enclosed within quotes. So you can give this, or if you don't wish, you don't have to give this. So this is just for your understanding. And now to access the value dict of name they have given. So what is the value associated with the key name here? Ria. That Ria will be displayed over here. Similarly, if you try to access the age, dict of age if I'm going to give, the value associated with the key age is 7. That 7 will be displayed over here. You got it? This is how you will access elements in the dictionary. And one more thing, if you try to access a data item with a key which is not a part of the dictionary, in case if the key and the value, if it is not present in the dictionary itself, and if you're trying to access that, immediately it will generate an error. See what they are doing here. Dict of Tarun they have given. The name Tarun is not there in the dictionary. So what will happen? It will generate an error. So this is how we will access elements in the dictionary. I hope you understood this class, children. And in the next class, we will be discussing about traversing a dictionary concept. Thank you.